Hello, and welcome to our final presentation of the day. Again, my name is Jared Cahoon of the Grace Company Canada, and I am so happy to be able to present you with another presentation by Carla Jerome of the Grace USA. She is their fabulous educator and all-around amazing person. So this one is going to be all about ruler work. This is a pre-recorded presentation, so you'll see a few other comments and interactions as part of the presentation, but it is definitely a keeper anyway. So if you have any comments or questions, feel free to comment on Facebook or on our live stream on YouTube. Or if you happen to be in the Grace Canada booth of Quilt Canada, go ahead and leave us a note there, and we are happy to talk to you. If not, you can always reach us at our toll-free number. We have people willing to answer the phone, and they are just awaiting your call to be able to help you with any questions you might have. Anyway, without any further ado, I will send you over to Carla. So here she is.
Well, thank you for joining us back here today. And I just am really excited about being able to show you some of the aspects of quilting that maybe you haven't explored or that you're thinking about, and it might be a little intimidating because you go to the internet and you put free motion quilts in Google and you put ruler work and you see all these beautiful, fabulous quilts out there. And they've used the ruler works and they've used a little bit of free motion quilting, and you go, how can I achieve a quilt that looks like that? You can achieve it several different ways. Some of them use automation with ruler work and free motion quilting. And so that's what's so great about working here is I get to explore all these different ways of quilting and share them with you. And then you can get excited about the next step or your next phase of quilting and what you want to pick and choose from all these great accessories and techniques. So let me jump into ruler work. Now, you don't have to have a long arm machine to use rulers and do ruler work. Like I said earlier, there are different feet with the domestic machines, and each of the domestic machines out there should have a ruler foot that you can purchase. A ruler foot, let me just come over here, is a foot that has a higher shank, so it can glide along the rulers better. So this is the ruler foot for the 21 Pro, and you can see that it has a higher shank, so that as I put my ruler up next to it, I don't know if you can see right there, how it will glide along the ruler and not come up over the edge. Now with some of the other feet, it could come up over the edge depending on the ruler height that I've purchased. And so you just don't want that because you could break your needles. And so it's really important to have the right height of ruler. And for the mid to long arms, it's usually 1/4 of an inch. That's so that you can turn it and it hits underneath this portion of the foot when the needle is in the down position. So you want free clearance so you can go around a circle or whatever template you're using to create your beautiful designs. Now, if you're using a domestic machine, usually the height of the ruler is 1/8 of an inch. So there's two different sizes. I don't know if I brought my 1/8 of an inch, but we sell them here with the Leah Day rulers for the domestic machines and the long arm machine. So we have the two different styles. So if you're starting out with your domestic machine, you may have to repurchase the rulers to be a higher shank, a higher depth than the domestic machines because of the foot that you're using. So, and also I'm using what we call a ruler base. A ruler base is a table that allows you to kind of lean on, and it gives you that stability as you're holding your template in place, and it won't tip on you. And so you need that solid surface to use your ruler work. So with our mid to long arm machines, it just wraps around the throat. Now with the domestic machines, you can find ruler bases out there for your domestic machines, and it's a place called So Steady. They make ruler bases for your domestic machine. So if you want to try it and you don't have a mid to long arm, hey, don't let that stop you. Contact So Steady, go to their website and see what they have available, because they know the dimensions of the carriages. And can we just kind of glide over here really quick? So with the ruler base for a domestic machine, it's a little different. It has little legs that sit down on the top plate of your carriage, but it has an opening just like that ruler base there that wraps around. So it just becomes a table surface. And if you have moved your quilt and you've done ruler work on your table, this just lets you float around and use your carriage to glide across it. So contact them. I know they make tons of ruler bases for every style of machine out there, and all you have to do is say, this is my machine and this is my frame, and they'll get you hooked up with a ruler base. So just wanted to let you know about that. So don't let that stop you from trying something new. Okay, now we're going to come back over here. Sorry for jumping back and forth, but so with ruler work, it depends on the style of quilt that you would like. I like a little fluffier look. I like that trapunto style look on my quilt. So I am using several layers of batting to achieve that look. Now, you just decide the style or how you want your quilt to look. I just tend to like double layers. And then this one, I'm using a thinner bamboo batting, so I'm kind of using 3 layers. So it's kind of a no-no, but it's working, so we're going to go with it. Okay, then the next thing is getting to know. You'll see I have a vast array of template rulers here in front of me, and just get to know them. Make them your new best friend. And the way you get to know and understand how they work or how to hold them is just practice. These are a little narrower and thinner, but I love them because you get multiple circles out of it. And you know, you can just fit them one inside the other and make it a bigger group. Okay, so you could just put a little piece of tape across it and make this a larger circumference of a circle. Now, you can only quilt a design that the throat of your machine will allow you to quilt. So if you are trying to achieve a 7-inch circle and you have a 9-inch domestic machine, you're not going to be able to achieve that. So quilt designs that fit within the parameters of your throat space of your machine. And so as you're looking at it, just know that if I have a domestic machine and it only extends out 9 inches, and I'm going to lose a little bit of my throat space here with my take-up pole, then I can only quilt maybe a 4-inch design. And so that I'm going to keep my designs within that area so that I won't hit the back or the front of the machine and throw it off and ruin my design or the look. The next thing is start a little notebook. Start another notebook, okay? I know I said to start a doodle notebook. I want you to start another notebook that this is specifically for ruler work so that you can learn how to use your templates and your designs and play with different fillers to achieve the look that you want. So here is a doodle notebook that I started, and I always am doodling. And they're not great doodles all the time, but this is kind of fun. So what I did is I just took some circles and I just traced around them with my pencil, and I did another circle and I did a larger one around it. But I just used real simple, easy designs to fill it in, and it achieves a really nice look. When it's on a quilt, it's going to look really cool and really catch your eye. And so I just filled this in with an up-down motion. right here and right here. And then I just decided, hey, I wanted to kind of make this kind of hippie-ish, because that's kind of the quilt that I have. So I did a little flower around it, the little flower petals, and I kind of squared them off here as I was going up and down. And you can tell that they're not exactly even, and that's okay. And then I filled in using different fillers. So this one I used up, down. Then I graduated to a small little loop to fill this in. And you can see with the different fillers where your eye goes, and it just nice, and it doesn't throw it off. And then right up here I did my pebbles. I love a good pebble, and it's a lot of fun. So down here I am working on my feathers. And so Lizzie Allen's tutorial on feathers was really helpful to me. And I found that I wasn't doing so bad on how I was starting out my feathers. But I wanted to kind of, again, make it a little different, make it a little more modern. So instead of the rounded feather, I kind of squared it off a little bit. And then I started filling it in right here with some pebbles. This, by using an echo around it. An echo is just a quarter of an inch away or so, and I'm echoing around it and then filling it in. It will really draw your eye towards your design of your feather. And then right here, I was just practicing with a different level, kind of a hook feather and a straight line and a little loop inside, just to see what it looked like. So I'm going to turn the page here and then just show you some straight lines and how much fun you can have with straight lines. So my quilt here that I have today is just squares. And it's like squares are kind of boring. So how can you enhance the look of a square and make it a fun quilt, and like you would use automation or something very difficult, a technique that's really hard, and not just doing free motion quilting. So I did a couple of straight lines down, and I filled it in with just my up down. With this one design, it can create so many different looks. And right here, I'm using the same design, but I'm putting it on an angle so it draws your eye a different direction. Right here, I did my closed swirls. I like the closed swirls on to achieve that look of coming in. And the open ones are okay, but it kind of just draws your eye away from it. And I like the look of the closed swirls. And then again, I did my little pebbles. And to make your pebbles, just try to make them as rounded as possible, and take your time. Take your time drawing your designs out. Don't be in too big of a hurry. And then right here, I used one of the Leah Day rulers, and I put it at an angle, and I just kind of did this nice S design all the way up it. And then I probably repeat it coming down, going a different direction, so that your eye is going up it one way and then coming back down another way. So just play, doodle, have a lot of fun. This one here is kind of a fun one. You could use this as a sashing, or just in the quilt along the edges of it to create it. And you could fill this in with whatever designs you wanted. You could fill this one in with pebbles. God, there's so many different ways to just achieve a wonderful look, and it's not that hard. So let me jump in and show you the quilt I did earlier last year. And I learned so much from quilting this. This is really, I've used the templates and the rulers quite a bit, but I never really quilted one quilt fully, trying different techniques and methods. So I'm going to show you just a little bit of my do's and my don'ts that I learned from this. Number one, I do not like the water-soluble markers because they don't come all the way out. So when you're picking marking tools, I don't care what you pick. Try different ones and see which one you like the best. It doesn't come all the way out, so I didn't like that. Also, your thread choices are really important as you were quilting. So it depends on the desired look that you want. So if you want your quilting to really stand out, use a different color thread so it will really pop. But if you want it to kind of just blend in and be a part of the quilt, but kind of have that surrounding look, use the color that is on the background. So that's kind of what I did here. I used the color that's on the background, and I just did different designs all the way across. And I don't know, can you see it? So it achieved a really fun look, and just really different. And you can see that I had a lot of fun coming up with my diamonds right here on the side. Sorry, we've got lots of threads. And then I filled them in with my closed spiral. This design here is a real fun design, and it's so easy to do, and it fills in a space just very easily. And you just do a mark right here and right here, and you'll just angle your ruler. And I'll try to show you how to do that. And then I just filled in this area right here by just going back and forth. And then when I got to the middle, I'd come up around, and then I'm back the other direction. So this is a really fun one. I love using this little design here. Then I just, right down here, I had a lot of fun playing with the diamond shape right here and enhancing that. And you can see that you don't want to fill in every aspect of your design. You want to leave some open spaces. So I have my ruler mark right here, but I have left these open, so it just kind of draws your eye all the way around. And just let me show you the back. The back's kind of fun too. And this one I used a double batting, and it just is really fun to see what it looks like from the back of the quilt, because the backs are just as fun as the tops sometimes. So anyway, I just had a lot of fun. And right here on this quilt, I used a template that I had that was kind of a windmill look, just to fill in this area. And it turned out really fun. And I just came in 1/4 of an inch, probably a little more than 1/4 of an inch. And then I just filled it around with, and you can see that I used the same designs over and over and over again, trying to create consistency as I was quilting with the rulers. So I used my closed swirl, my pebbles, and I used this design right here. I don't even know what you call it, tiger eye or whatever. Kind of reminds me of those tiger eye rocks that you find. So anyway, just remember to kind of create some consistency as you are using your rulers. So if you are using, you can use different elements, but just draw it back to using that same consistency. So I wanted to show you some of the other tools I have. So read your instructions for your templates. They are a great resource for helping you understand how they work and what the lines are for and how to move them across your quilt. So do some practicing before you get to your quilt. Because there's lots of great information, and you're also going to learn what you like and what you don't like and how to hold it. So read your instructions, really important, and then find your marking tool that you like. I have so many here, but there are so many out there. But find what works for you. So when you're using a lighter background, you don't want to use a white pencil. So use something that's a little darker, but make sure that it will rub out. I love this Fons and Porter pencil, and I know Leah Day likes it as well, but it's white. But I can use this little eraser to get the lines out. And that's what I like. I like to be able to erase those lines out of it. And I used a little pink so to show up. I don't want something really dark, but I want something so I can see a line that I've drawn so I can see where to place my template. And on this one right here, I use this oval. And I just wanted it to be a little different. And I'm trying to do a little bit different techniques. That's what's fun about each quilt. It has its own personality. You don't have to try the same style over and over and over again. You can try something new. So I haven't been a big fan of the oval, but I had it. And I thought, hey, how can I use this oval? Now I'm going to, so I did the oval up and then sideways, kind of a different little look. And I'm also going to take my foot off and then quilt the oval in the center. And then I'm just going to fill in those ovals. So I'm going to show you how to do that in a second here. All right, so let me just run in and say a shout out to my favorite ruler of all is our True Cut rulers, which with our new feet, we're going to be adding, because we can use this ruler because it has a high edge and the ruler foot just rides along it. And also it sits down really nice and flat, and you have the holes there to hold it in place. So, and it has all the markings for you to move across as you're quilting. So I love this ruler, and I use it all the time for ruler work. Okay, another tool I want to talk about really quick. So if I'm running over, guys, just tell me to shut up. You're done. All right, is our echo feet. Did you know that you could use our echo feet or your echo foot to create a larger circle or design? And what you'll do, just lock it into place. Just going to lock it here. Okay. All right, so it's locked into place. This is the small echo. So it's pushed it out a little bit larger. So if you're taking this circle here and you have a smaller throat machine and you want, like our 15 is a smaller throat machine, and I want to make a larger circle going all the way around it. This echo foot allows you to make a larger circle using a template that's a little smaller. So it's a great foot, and it also helps you to keep the distance when you're repeating all the way across. So you can just echo. So you could start out with a smaller one and go across, and then go to a larger one and go across, and just have a nice, achieve a really nice look for your quilt. So the echo feet are great. And then we have our square and diamond shape. So if you are trying to create a grid or a crosshatch, these are great feet to use along with your True Cut ruler. So it'll just angle it for you so that you can glide along the edge and do that crosshatch or that straight. So those are a couple of feet that are really nice to have and accessories to use. So I'm going to set these to the side. Okay. Nathan, did you have something you wanted to say?
Yeah, no, I just wanted to have you share that a little bit more. If we can get the camera in on that, Carla, I think that's really interesting. One is just highlight and just quickly kind of show the different feet on that particular kit, because I know there's the echoing, and I know we didn't quite get some close-ups of that. So maybe if you could just show us that, and then the square ones, which I also think were fairly unique. So maybe just kind of walk back through, and let's get the camera on that so we can see what those are, and then walk through one more time how they might use those.
Okay, so this is the diamond-shaped foot. So if you're doing, if you want to do a crosshatch right here, this is the foot that's attached to the arm of the machine. So it would sit like this. So it's a natural diamond shape right here. Very nice. So it's already angled for you. All you have to do is angle your ruler to do your measurements. And this foot just is going to glide right along your ruler here to make that crosshatch. And you could do it all the way across. And then you'll just turn your ruler to the other side. That's what's so cool. And you're going to go right across it, so you'll have your crosshatch. It's a very neat foot. I love this diamond foot. And then we just have a plain square one as well, which is really nice. Then with the echo feet, hang on here. They're not on the foot itself, so hang on. Which way am I doing you? Well, okay. So the echo foot is just going to go on, but what it's going to do is it's going to expand your distance of whatever you're echoing as you're going around it. So I'm just going to move around my template right here and just show you. And this would be where your needle would be positioned.
And Carla, it looks like you have not just one EcoFoot, right? There's a couple different sizes.
There's 3. So there's 2 square feet. Thanks, Mark. There's 2 square feet and 3 EcoFeet in that kit. And there's the smallest one. I love to use this one as well, just to have it on all the time. It's just such a great little foot. And then I'm just going to quickly show you. Okay, so this is what it looks like, the small one. You're going to go around it. And then I'm just going to put the medium one on there and see how it pushes just the distance between them. And then you have the large one. And not only are the EcoFeet great for your templates or your design, but if you are free motion quilting a pantograph and you want to keep your distance nice and consistent, this allows you to space that design across your quilt evenly. You just use this as your guide, and it'll just, if you're going up and doing a loop and then coming back, you're just going to use the edges as your guide. So it keeps it looking symmetric all the way across your quilt. So some really great tools that we've developed for you, and we just want you to use them all the time, because that's what we're all about, is creating new items and new things. And these are some great feet. And our machines aren't the only ones. So if you don't have our machines, or if you have a domestic, you can find these extra feet around. So just know that you can just look for EcoFeet for your machine, or ruler feet. Just find them online. Okay, so let's jump in and do some quilting here. And I just wanted to show you how easy it is to just take a ruler and start quilting. And right here, I'm going to move that and see. I kind of have a dirty, a messy quilt, because I have all these templates I just love to use. And so I'm just going to quickly show you just a couple of designs on how to hold things, and then I'll shut up.
No, Carl, by the way, it's really wonderful. Everybody's loving so much all things you're doing. So I think that what you're doing has been really, really insightful on some of the different tools and what that might mean in conjunction with feet. And so I know that we're excited to see this next part as well. But I just wanted to reach out while she's moving into this. Carla, I'm pretty sure that we all have spaces like that. I know maybe when I'm quilting, it's the same thing. I was thinking the other day when I was doing that, and there were some scissors just floating around, and I kept on thinking, maybe I should move those out of the way. So that and all your rulers, but it's wonderful, and we're excited to hear more of what you have to share with us, Carla. So.
Okay. We may have a little cord issue, so just bear with me, everybody. We have a lot of cords hanging off us so that we can bring everything to you. So what I like to do is to bring my ruler base over as I'm marking on my quilt. So you can pre-mark your quilt. If you know all your designs and everything you want, you can sit at the table and pre-mark it before you bring it to your frame. And that, do it. I mean, it's a great thing to do. So anyway, what I'm going to do is just use my Leah Day ruler here, because I really like these rulers. You can create so many cool and neat designs. So I'm just going to pull up my bobbin thread here. And the reason it did a double little stitch like that is it's trying to find its rotation. And I'm going to hold it nice and steady. And hey, Mark, can you hook me up with a true grip? So on this ruler, there's a smooth side and a side that has, I just want to talk about this because I love our true grips, and they are phenomenal when it comes to holding your template that you have in place. So they are must, and they are clear so you can see your lines, so they're not going to obstruct your view as you're moving across and moving your ruler, so you can still see. I have 2 true grips on this. I'm going to put another one right here, but I just wanted you to see that I have these 2 true grips on here, but you can still see the lines on your ruler. They're not going to obstruct it because they're not colored. And it's just really important to be able to see what you're doing as you're quilting. So now I have my true grips on it. This is just the right size ruler to do some fun creative designs here. And you can see I've already started something new. I really thought it was fun to go down and then do my little pebble and then down and then just kind of adjust them back and forth. I'm not quite through with this section yet. And then right here, Chris, can you pan in? I just went around. I used to use the fabric as kind of a fun thing to just go around. And I'll just show you how I did that in a minute. But anyway, let's jump over here so that we're starting some ruler work. And I want to make sure that I'm at least 1/4 inch away. And I pulled up my bobbin thread and I'm just going to move across and holding it nice and steady. And I just want to make sure everything's parallel. Okay, and then I'm just going to tie it off. Now I could move down a little bit and just kind of jump and make a little cap to where I could fill in with some pebbles. I could make it even wider. Let's just go about like that. Kind of looks like a guy's mustache. Upside down. Okay, so now I just want to turn my ruler around. But I want to make sure that there's at least 1/4 inch because I want it to touch, okay? So I'm just going to hold I can put it in the down position, okay? And that will hold my needle in the down position so that I know that I'm right there on that tippy end. And I kind of want to position this one. So now I can come up. See how fun that is? Now I can fill this in with some up, downs. I can come right out here, make this a little wider. I mean, God, the sky's the limit when it comes to using the rulers. Okay, let me hold this right here. And if you are anal about the distance and the sizes, that's fine. You can measure and do all of that. I just don't happen to be that much of a perfectionist when it comes to that. So let me just show you what else this does. I think is really fun with this ruler. So I'm going to come out here and it looks like I'm about 1/4 inch. Anyway, so now I have these 2 little spots I can fill in. And you can just keep going and you can repeat that design. You can flip it. You could start going this way. You could start going this way if you wanted. There's so many things that you can do when it comes to using your rulers and creating these awesome designs. Anyway, let me just hurry and cut this. And I'll just come over here and jump in. And you can tell I've used the gray thread right here. And I'm just going to cut my little threads off. And I know I have some down below. And I might even bring this all the way out when the time comes. But you could fill this in with pebbles. You could fill this in with the up, down, or you could do my little tiger eye where you could go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and come up around like this, and then come back this direction. That one I'll have to draw on, so just bear with me. So when I'm starting that design, I'll come this direction, back and forth, come up around, right here, and then come back this way. Okay, so now I kind of have drawn it. So, and I want to start out here just a little smaller. And let me bring my thread up. And I'll just do a little tie-off stitch. And I just barely move it a couple of times. And now there you go. And there I did a couple of tie-offs, but there is a fun little design that I love to use. So that was pretty fun. I hope you try your rulers, because I could go on all day. It's something I love to do. So I'm just going to come over here and show you how I drew my little designs on with my pink. Can you see it there? Can you see the pink? And now I'm just going to start up here. And hopefully my cords won't inhibit my drawing. And I go around it a couple of times. And then I'm going to come down. Okay. And now one thing I wanted to mention before I let y'all go is I learned from this quilt here to make sure that you stitch in the ditch around your designs. It's a prettier look, and it tacks these down so you're going to be able to use your ruler work that much better. I first started out, I didn't have it tacked down, and these were all puffy, and I didn't like that look. So make sure you stitch in the ditch all the way around, and just go for it. Just try it. You will have so much fun with rulers. All you need is the ruler base. You have the ruler foot. Those are included in with the combos that we have right now. So, you will have a lot of fun. And all those wonderful Leah Day rulers. And she was very creative when she came up with them, because they will create many, many fun designs.
Hello and welcome back. I hope you guys enjoyed the presentation by Carla on rulers and ruler fundamentals. Wow, just a lot of fun. I love the tiger eye she did there at the end. I'm going to have to incorporate that into a quilt soon, because that one just needs to be quilted. I don't see any questions in the comments. Of course, we will have more presentations coming up soon. We have presentations tomorrow at 8 a.m., noon, and 4 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. And I will let you know what those presentations are. There we go. Friday presentations. We start our day off with You Can Quilt Paisley with Leah Day at 8 a.m. Workshop Striptease with Carla Jerome. That should be exciting. And a FAQ, Frequently Asked Questions on Tension, that's being presented by the Grace team. So if you have a CUNY quilting machine and you've been having struggles with tensions, the FAQ tension is definitely a must-see. And then, Carla has been telling me about this workshop, and I am excited to watch it with you tomorrow. In the meantime, feel free to reach out to us at our toll-free number, 844-764-7223. We have people ready to take your call and help answer your questions and guide you through all the promotions that we have going on, or any questions about your machine. So just feel free to reach out to us there as well. You also, don't forget that we do have dealers all across Canada, so you can always reach out to your closest dealer. We have a dealer locator on our website. I know those guys, and they are all wonderful, and they'd be happy to take your call with any questions or trying to see what you can get locally. Again, looking for comments. Don't see any comments here at the moment, so I will see you guys at 8 a.m. tomorrow for You Can Quilt Paisley.